You wake up in a world that looks familiar. Your bed, your phone, your morning routine. The city hums outside, cars moving in perfect synchronicity, people glued to their screens, following invisible scripts. Everything feels normal, but something gnaws at you. A quiet voice in the back of your mind whispers, "Something isn't right." You look around and realize you've never actually questioned the rules of this world. The path laid before you wasn't one you chose. It was assigned. From birth, you were given a name, a nationality, a belief system. You were told what success looks like, how to behave, what to desire. You followed along just as everyone else did. But now, the illusion flickers. The rhythm of life that once felt natural now feels mechanical, programmed. You see the invisible walls of the system: work, consume, obey, repeat. What if the reality you accept isn't reality at all? What if your thoughts, ambitions, and fears have been carefully engineered by forces you never see? What if the life you're living isn't yours, but a pre-written script designed to keep you complacent? You were never meant to ask these questions. Society has a failsafe. The moment you begin to doubt, it drowns you in distractions. Endless entertainment, social validation, and the ever-present lure of progress keep you too occupied to question the foundation beneath your feet. But this isn't just coincidence. It's by design. Nietzsche warned of the herd mentality, where people trade true freedom for the comfort of conformity. Carl Jung spoke of the collective unconscious, a deep well of inherited beliefs shaping how we think, often without us realizing it. And Aldous Huxley predicted a future not of oppression, but sedation, a world where people would love their servitude because it was wrapped in pleasure. Look at your own life. Have you ever truly sat in silence, free from the influence of society, and asked yourself what you actually want? Most people haven't. Their desires are not their own, they are manufactured. The need for status, wealth, and approval are carefully implanted through advertising, media, and cultural conditioning. And this conditioning isn't just external, it's biological. The brain craves certainty. It resists the unknown because questioning reality is uncomfortable. That's why so many choose to stay asleep. Sartre called this bad faith, the act of lying to oneself to avoid the terror of true freedom. But here's the problem. The longer you ignore it, the harder it is to wake up. The matrix of modern life isn't just a system. It's a state of mind. And unless you confront it, you will remain trapped, mistaking slavery for freedom. The question is, what happens if you don't escape? What is the cost of staying plugged in? You might think that staying inside the matrix of modern life is harmless, that if you follow the script, work hard, and chase happiness through society's offerings, everything will turn out fine. But what if I told you the cost of staying plugged in is far greater than you realize? Consider this. Why do so many people feel empty despite having everything they were told to chase? Depression and anxiety are skyrocketing, even in the most successful nations. Attention spans are collapsing. Social connections are thinning, reduced to digital interactions. We are drowning in choice, yet paralyzed by indecision. Why? Because the system was never designed for your fulfillment. It was designed for your compliance. Neurologically, your brain is wired to adapt to whatever environment you feed it. If you spend your life consuming distractions, your mind becomes addicted to them. If you let social approval dictate your actions, you become dependent on validation. Over time, your capacity for deep thought, solitude, and independent willpower deteriorates. The matrix doesn't need to lock you in chains. It simply makes you incapable of walking away. And the scariest part, the longer you stay asleep, the harder it becomes to wake up. The more you justify your routine, the more your identity becomes entangled with it. This is why people defend their own cages. They ridicule those who break free, calling them crazy or lost, because deep down they fear the possibility that they've wasted their lives. So, the question is, how do you break free? Is there a way to unplug before it's too late? The answer lies in rebellion, not against the world, but against everything you once believed to be true. Breaking free from the matrix is not about escaping into the wilderness or rejecting all of modern life. It's about reclaiming your mind, breaking the invisible chains that have kept you enslaved to a system that feeds on your complacency. But here's the paradox. The more you try to escape using the tools given to you by the matrix, the deeper you sink into it. The first step is radical detachment. Detachment from mass media, from algorithm-driven consumption, from the illusion of constant social validation. This doesn't mean ignorance, it means regaining control. The moment you stop reacting to every headline, every notification, every societal pressure, you weaken the matrix's grip on your mind. Next comes the reprogramming. If your mind has been conditioned for distraction and dependency, you must rewire it for focus and self-reliance. Read the books that challenge your beliefs. Spend time in silence, away from digital noise. Learn to sit with discomfort instead of escaping into entertainment. History is filled with those who saw through the illusion. Buddha abandoned his palace to seek enlightenment. Nietzsche tore apart the foundations of morality. Thoreau retreated to the woods to discover self-sufficiency. Their message was the same. Liberation begins within. But this is where the real test begins. When you start unplugging, the world will resist. People will call you extreme, unrealistic, or even dangerous. Why? Because your escape forces them to confront their own chains. Now the final revelation awaits. Are you ready to see the truth? Here's the truth they don't want you to realize. The Matrix was never an external system. It was always in your mind. The institutions, the distractions, the endless noise, these were only tools to keep you asleep. But the real prison was built inside you, brick by brick, through fear, conditioning, and self-doubt. You were never trapped in society's illusion. You were trapped in your own unwillingness to question it. Every time you accepted the comfortable lie over the painful truth, every time you silenced your inner voice to conform, you tightened your own chains. But now, you see, the Matrix cannot hold you because it was never real. The moment you choose sovereignty over obedience, awareness over distraction, truth over comfort, you are free. Not because the system has changed, but because you have. And that is the final paradox. Escape was never about running away. It was about waking up. The walls crumble the moment you refuse to be controlled. So now the question remains, what will you do with your freedom? Will you step back into the illusion, or will you walk into the unknown and shape your own destiny? The choice has always been yours.